Hello, and welcome back to the first energetically aligned, non-violent, plant-based, conscious cooking show that I call Cooking in My Mom's Kitchen. I'm your host, and this week I self-identify as Patrick Lover Moore. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is our culinary shaman feeling called to identify in this way? Why is our master of the art and love of cooking being called to this identification? And I'm so blessed to share with you that this past weekend I received an energetic download from a fully charged Leo super full moon. And in this energetic download, I was reminded of the truth that the shame that our capitalistic society forces upon our bowel movements is criminal. That the bowel movement is an innate part of the human experience. And the fact that we must hide the details and effects of our bowel movements upon our lives from our friends, our families, our partner or partners for my poly friends is unhealthy and unproductive. So this week, my universal download has reminded me the truth that we need to bring our bowel movements into the open. That we should celebrate our bowel movements. That we should embrace our bowel movements. That we should call our bowel movements beautiful. So I'm excited to share my energetically aligned, plant-based, conscious, colon cleansing, dietary tract healing green drink recipe. So let's clean our colons, energize our hearts and minds, and learn how to make a great green smoothie. Let's begin. Alright, so for those of you who have walked this path with me before, you know what is coming next. But for our new tribe members, our new family members here in My Mom's Kitchen, the first question you always want to ask when conscious cooking is, what is the vibe we are trying to set here today? What is the container that we are trying to create? Now, I've been channeling a vibe. I've been seeing in my brain the color green for our green smoothie we're making, but it's more than just the color, it's a texture. It's deep forest green moss. It's scuzzy green algae in a pond. It's seaweed off the coast of California. It's real weed plant medicine. It's gecko green, sloth fur verde. That's kind of the vibe and intention I'm channeling here today. And I think the best way to create this container today is through a single sun salutation. For my non-yogically inclined friends, that is a yoga posture that I think is going to help create the vibe and space that we need to do our cooking ceremony. So, let's begin. Wow. I feel the container being created and this powerful posture helping us to set the vibe that we need. Now that we've done it, we are ready to
Hey there, tribe, we've set the vibe, and now there's this, the gist of the ingredients list.
So, what kind of amazing, nutritionally dense, energizing ingredients have we collected today from our independently owned organic and natural food store? What's hiding here in our reusable zero waste shopping bag? What is our ingredients list? Well, today I'm called to share the ingredients list by letting the universe move through me with sound and introducing each ingredient with this universal movement. So let's begin. Of course, as always, you can also find the ingredients list in the description below. But let's continue on this journey together and begin with our ingredients. The first item in our reusable zero waste grocery bag is, of course, a bottle of the Taste Nirvana coconut water. The number one best coconut water in my opinion. This is a beautiful and amazing coconut water that is going to add a sweet liquid foundation while supercharging our hydration in our smoothie. Wow, beautiful. The next ingredient we have is from our bulk section in our independent organic and natural food store, and it's flax seeds, which are going to add some extra micronutrients and fibers that our bodies are craving. Wow. After that, we have a little bit of freshly ground almond butter, again from the bulk section of our independently owned organic and natural food store. Wow, amazing. The next item in our bag is the banana. Now, the banana is going to give us potassium, vitamins, and it's going to give us that sweet taste that will dance upon our palates and help to temper the sometimes harsher flavors of the greens in our green smoothie. Wow. We're also going to call on our friend Mr. Red Apple to help sweeten up some of the harsher, harder to connect with flavors of our deep greens that are going to give us so much nutritional energy. Wow. Next, we have our friend Mr. Carrot, and Mr. Carrot is going to give so much color and nutrition, phytochemicals, micronutrients, all of the things our body needs in a smoothie. Beautiful. Next we have a just outstanding bunch of dino kale. It's going to give us so much fiber, so much color, so much nutrition. It's going to fuel us so beautifully. Wow. After that, we have a beautiful bunch of rainbow chard that we're going to add in. That is just beautiful, isn't it? Look at those colors. Beautiful. And next we have a baby bok choy. And this vegetable is also going to add more fiber and these beautiful greens and nutrients that we need and that our body is calling for to cleanse our colons. Wow. And the last item that we have here is simply a tray of ice. And that's going to provide that texture and temperature that our smoothie needs to be fully aware and conscious to the needs of our taste buds. Wow. So that is our ingredients list. Of course, you can use whichever greens the universe is calling you to use. The grosser, the healthier. Whatever green it is, just throw it in your blender and get ready to cleanse your colon. So, let's move on to the next step in the process.
I'm gonna grab that fridge and dance with it. If the fridge asks, I will commit. 'Cause I think I love it more than a bit.
Alright, so before we begin our blending ceremony, you might know that I believe it has the utmost importance to take care of our veggie friends and make sure that they feel not only cared for, but honored and respected and ready for their big ceremonial day. And one of the ways I like to do that is to give them a bit of a spa day, to take them over to the sink, give them a bath and a little massage before the blending ceremony. So grab your veggie friends and let's head over to the sink. Alright, now it's time for our chopping meditation. You're going to want to grab your friend, Mr. Apple and Mr. Carrot, and bring them over to the cutting board, where you can help them to reshape and reimagine how they can be in form and place before introducing them to Mr. Blendy. So, some of you may be asking yourselves, but Patrick, colon lover Moore, how do we make ice? How can we stop being consumers of ice and instead become makers of ice? Well, don't you fret. I will share my ice making secret. First, you're going to need an ice receptacle. Now, in the business, these are often called ice trays, but you can use any sort of receptacle that you feel called to. Second, you're going to want to take your filtered water and pour it into your ice receptacle. Then you'll take it over to what we in the business called a refrigerator. And you're going to find not the medium cold part of your refrigerator, but the cold part of your refrigerator. And then you're going to put your ice receptacle into that cold part, shut the door, and leave it. Leave it for 6 to 12 hours and let that liquid form water slowly turn into the cool ice that our green smoothies desire. Okay, so let's talk about the blender in the room. Of course, I'm referring to our friend and our number one tool today, Mr. Blendy, the Blendtec blender. Now, you can of course use whichever blender that you have or are feeling called to use, but I have a special sentimental connection with Mr. Blendy because of the way he beautifully combines the different ingredients together to create these conscious combinations. So, now that we know a little bit about the hardware, the tool that we'll need for today's recipe, let's go ahead and start introducing our ingredients to our friend, Mr. Blendy. So the first step is going to be to take our beautiful, delightful coconut water and let's lay that base, shall we? Let's open up that nice, cool coconut water and just pour that in there. I'm going to want about 12 ounces, maybe even 16 ounces of coconut water. And you know what? A little taste for myself as well. Amazing. Really, really beautiful. We'll go ahead and add our half apple in. Drop that in and drop that in. And then we'll go ahead and add our carrot bits. Add those carrots in there. All right, now it's time to grab our friend, Mr. Banana. Now, before we help it to shed its armor, its outer layer, I find it's best to tap upon its skin with your fingers. If you're a citizen of the world like myself, you might know that the areas where bananas grow are often graced by our eight-legged friends, the Brazilian wandering spider, and the banana feels much more comfortable, much more at home when it feels as if those 8 legs are tapping upon its outer layer, and when it feels that way, then it is ready to be peeled and drop that outer layer and join the party we are creating in our blender.
You thought I wouldn't make any songs this show, but if I did that, then the show would blow!
All right. So, the next step of the process. It's time to grab our washed, relaxed, fully loved and honored veggie friends and bring them over to our blender and start to help them to shed a little way away from their stalks. Of course, you're going to want to leave in some stalk to provide some of that fiber that we need to clean our colons. But you don't want all of the stalk because it can be too forcefully fibrous for our intestines. So tear away some of the leaves, leaving a little bit of stalk, and go ahead and add that in to Mr. Blendy.
Leafy greens, they're stealing this scene. Leafy greens make you feel like a teen. Leafy greens help you fit in your jeans.
Who's ready to get nutty? Let's grab that almond butter and take a few scoops of that protein-rich goodness and throw it into Mr. Blendy to not only fuel our bodies and minds with this strong protein source, but also add a nutty, delicious, rich flavor to our green drink smoothie. Now is the moment to add that crispness, that coolness, that icy feel. So go to your freezer, grab your ice receptacle, pop out a few ice cubes, and let's add those into our friend Mr. Blendy to give that nice, icy, cool, refreshing taste that our green drink smoothie needs. The final step of the process before we begin our blending ceremony is to sprinkle a few of our nice, nutritionally important and vital flax seeds across the top of our smoothie. So just go ahead and give it a sprinkle. All right, my conscious food tribe. We've finally reached that moment. We are inches from the completion of this ceremony. We've introduced all of our ingredients to each other. We've treated them properly with love and honor. We've put them together inside the vessel we call our friend Mr. Blendy, the Blendtech Blender. And now it's that magical moment. The last step of the ceremony. Pressing blend.
Blend it. Blend it like it's hot, it's worth a shot. Ain't nothing else that's gotta be taught. Blend it. Blend it like we're friends, that's the #1 trend. Blend the veggies up so they can ascend. Blend it. Hey girl, blend it.
We've reached the moment. My medicine food tribe. Our green drink smoothie is ready to drink. So grab a glass and fill yourself with this nutrient-dense, antioxidant-filled, energetically aligned, non-violent, plant-based, conscious, colon-cleansing, digestive tract healing green drink smoothie. And fill yourself with nutrition, energy, light, and love. All while quickly and cleanly helping your bowels begin to move.
It's the end of the show, gotta drink up and go. Pour yourself a glass to make your colon blow. Let it heal your innards and your insides. Take a moment on the can to hit subscribe.
Clean Colon Town, here I come.
It's the end of the show, we've made a green drink, you know. Time to drink up and let your bowels flow. And if you don't mind, please hit subscribe so my channel grows.
I'm ready for my bowels to move.
Take a moment on the can to hit subscribe. It's the end of the show. We made a green drink, you know. Time to drink up and let your bowels flow. And if you don't mind, please hit subscribe so my channel grows.
All right. We've done it. We've closed the circle. We've completed the ceremony. We have created once again a beautiful, nutritious, energetic, conscious meal that this time we can drink. And we've tackled the tough subject of the shame that our society forces upon us about our bowel movements. We've cleansed our colons, we've healed our dietary tracts, our digestive systems, and we've energized ourselves with powerful medicinal food. So all there's left to do is for me to say thank you for blessing me with your vibes, with your energy, and for joining me on this path that we walk together, that we call conscious cooking. Before we go, I want to say, if you want to continue this spiritual journey, if you want to continue to walk each other home, as our great teacher Ram Dass has said, please hit the subscribe button below so that you can stay up to date with the latest conscious cooking shows. Now, the other thing I want to ask of you today is if you felt moved, if you felt inspired about this call to action about embracing our innate human experience of bowel movements, then please share in the comments below a story about a recent bowel movement that you've had. Maybe one that's affected a friend or a family member or a partner or partners. Share that bowel movement story below so that we can continue to start a conversation about bowel movements, that we can start a bowel movement that brings it into the light, that helps us to embrace and celebrate our bowel movements. So comment below with your bowel movement story so that we can start to gain some energy around this movement. All there is left for me to say is thank you again for joining me on this journey. Thank you to my mothers for providing this domicile, this kitchen to be grounded within. And until next time, Namaste.